Welcome to Influential Sports, where passion meets precision. I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And today I want to talk about the best player in the National Basketball Association today, which is Shai Alexander. It's like talking around who's the best, whether that be Shai, Luka, Jokic. And I believe you can make an argument for all three of those guys. Jason Tatum, when healthy, he's in that conversation as well, but obviously he's been out this season, and he was out towards the end and he got injured in the playoffs last year. But I'm just focusing on SGA and just what he's been able to accomplish 8 years into his career. One season with the Clippers, which was his rookie year, and now in his seventh season with OKC. He's already a three-time All-Star, three-time All-NBA. Will likely be a four-time All-Star and four-time All-NBA this year. Was 2025 scoring champion. Was MVP last year, and he finished second in MVP the year before that. Western Conference Finals MVP, eighth All-Rookie team this rookie year. Has been in the playoffs 4 times, back-to-back seasons, leading OKC to the 1 seed. Those are just some of his accomplishments so far early in his career. And while Luka and Jokic are more accomplished, Jokic has also been playing longer than both Luka and Shai. Luka and Shai came to the same draft. They came in the same year. They were in the same draft class. Luka was the higher pick, and both guys are very accomplished. When Luka and Shai met in the playoffs for the first time, Luka had the edge, and he played better than Shai in that playoff series and upset the 1-seeded OKC Thunder, which I expected Dallas to get to the finals that year, and I was proven correct. And Dallas, they got there. Luka outplayed Shai, but I think what separates Luka and Shai is Shai's defense. Some people feel like Shai's defense is overhyped, but I think Shai is a good defender. Luka's defense, it's not terrible. It's picked up since 2020. I'd say from his rookie year to 2022, it wasn't that good at all. In that first conference finals that he appeared in versus the Warriors, defense just wasn't there. And from that point on, his defense improved. He took the efforts to improve defensively, and he's played solid defense. I don't think it's nothing special, and I don't think it's anywhere to what Shai's defense is. Shai's just simply the better defender. But Luka isn't a terrible defender by any means. He's definitely improved and taken those steps to become a better defender. But Shai still has that edge on Luka, as he's the much better defender, and it's very clear. And Jokic, his defense really, for most of his career, is people have only talked about Jokic's offense, which they rightfully should. He's one of the best playmakers in the league. So is Luka. They're both 2 of the top 3 playmakers in the league, and Tyrese Halliburton's in that conversation, as well as being in that top 3. His playmaking is phenomenal. He's a really good scorer, averaging a triple-double as a big man. So what Jokic is doing is impressive. This video isn't to discredit what Luka or Jokic are doing, but I think what separates Shai from both of them specifically is his defense. Because while Jokic, his defense hasn't proven him well, he's always been one of the top defensive rebounders. He's getting more steals. He's averaging a steal per game this season, if I'm not mistaken, along with averaging a triple-double. He's still not blocking many shots. He doesn't give much effort defensively. He gives, let me not say much, he gives a little bit of effort defensively when he's going for boards, but he's not really going for blocks. He's not really contesting shots. So it's like if he's only getting defensive rebounds, and he does play a good off-ball defense, but he's not that great when it comes to on-ball defense. He's not blocking many shots or even contesting many shots. So the contests are more important than the blocks, because you don't have to have the most blocks to prove how good of a defender you are. If he could at least contest some more shots, he still doesn't contest many shots. He does a great job closing out possessions, and the other Denver players such as Aaron Gordon or Jamal Murray, etc., and they're playing defense. They're doing what they need to do, and Jokic closing out the possession. That's still super valuable. Those defensive rebounds, they're important. But if he's not contesting the shots, I can't credit him as a good defender. He's average at best. And then Luka, he's taking the steps to become better year by year, and I feel like he can take another step. Excuse me, because I do think Luka's defense has been getting better. But Shai's defense, I really enjoy what Shai can do as a guard, averaging 4.8 rebounds per game for his career, averaging 1.4 steals per game through his career, and having every season where he's averaged at least a steal per game, except for one season where he averaged 0.8 steals per game, which is damn near close to 1. So, but aside from the comparisons to Shai, Luka, and Jokic, I want to make this about Shai and what he's been able to accomplish leading OKC, coming from the Clippers after just 1 year and being part of that Paul George trade, which may be revisited. It's going to be talked about for a while. I'm not going to get into that in this video. But what separates Shai from a lot of people is how elite of a scorer he is and how efficient he is. His efficiency is what makes him an elite scorer. And throughout his career, and this is not factoring in the Warriors game that was played on December 2nd, all these stats I have are before that Warriors game yesterday that took place, which OKC got to win, and I'll talk about that game a little bit at the end and what he did there. But for his career, 24.8 points per game on 50% from the field, 35% from three, 86% from the free throw line. Very impressive to be that efficient, and people will talk about how much he gets to the free throw line. If you're a great scorer, you're getting to the line. The only great scorer that doesn't really get to the line, that didn't get to the line much all the time, is Steph Curry. And even to keep it current day, because even Michael Jordan and Kobe, they got to the line a lot. And it's like they just knew how to get the contact. It's not a negative that they got to the free throw line a lot. It's a positive they were able to draw contact. Even if it may be flopping, it's like we've seen LeBron and James Harden do it. It's more recent examples. We've seen Luka do it a lot. Like Luka is no exception to this. It's like Steph, he's the only one that doesn't get the calls. Cade Cunningham doesn't really get those calls either. As good of a scorer he's become, he's not getting those calls. But aside from those two, a lot of all-time legends, all-time greats, they got to the free throw line a lot. So at the end of the day, it's about being able to draw that contact. He's been able to do that, and he's shooting 86% from the free throw line. That can improve. I can see that by the end of his career being at 88, 89%. Shooting 35% from three, been great. Shooting 50% from the field, making 50% of his shots. And he now has the second longest streak of 20-plus point games consecutive with 94. He's behind Wilt Chamberlain. He just passed Wilt, and he's still behind Wilt. So that just shows you how dominant Wilt Chamberlain was. But the only person with a longer streak of consecutive 20-point games is Wilt Chamberlain. And he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. So for Shai to be in company with Wilt Chamberlain at 8 years into his career, that's very impressive. Because I don't know how many people expected this out of Shai. I knew Shai could be an amazing player. I'm not surprised by this at all. But I don't know how many people can realistically say that. But four straight seasons averaging 30-plus points while shooting a minimum of 51% from the field and 34% from three. Even more impressive, show how good he is scoring. 4 straight seasons averaging 30-plus points, and 2 of those seasons they were back-to-back 1 seeds. He was still getting these same calls, and when they were 40 and 42, nobody cared. It's a problem because he's winning now. Nobody cared when he was doing this same thing on a 40-win team when they were the 11 and 12 seed in the West. Like Shai's been doing this for 4 straight years. He's been amazing. He's shooting 51% and 34% from three. And that's at minimum. That's at his worst these last 4 years, the way he's been shooting. And then in 6 seasons, he's averaged 5 assists per game. The only 2 seasons under that was his rookie year and the year he played next to CP3. And you can credit CP3 for making Shai a better playmaker and a better player in general, because we've seen the steps that he took in that second season and how he rose from averaging 10.8 points his rookie season to averaging 19 and just becoming better. That 3-guard lineup worked really well in OKC. They took the Rockets to 7 games in the playoffs. Shai had his moments, and Shai has multiple playoff moments. His rookie year, being part of that 31-point comeback against the Warriors in Game 2 in 2019, helping OKC push the Rockets to 7 in the bubble, in which a lot of people wasn't expecting that series to go super long. And then obviously just winning Finals MVP this past year, and the year before that, he, like I mentioned earlier, against Luka, he didn't perform well when they first met up in the playoffs. Didn't perform well. Luka outplayed him and was the better player at the time. But Shai once again led OKC to the 1 seed, was ready for the moment, stepped up big time, and even in the year they lost versus Luka, it wasn't like he was terrible. Just compared to Luka, he wasn't as good as Luka was that series. But I find it hard not to consider Shai the best player in the world when he has it all. He's a really good playmaker. Sure, he might not be in the top 3 conversation, but like I said, Luka, Jokic, Tyrese Halliburton, whatever order you want to put them in, those are the top 3 playmakers in the league. You got to acknowledge that. But Shai has developed into a really good playmaker. He's improved every season. He started off as a shooting guard at first, and then he transitioned into a point guard. and that transition was much easier with just one season playing next to Chris Paul. His playmaking has improved. He's averaging giving you at least 5 assists per game. He's an elite scorer, whether it's from free throw line, 3-point line, or just field goal range. He's an elite scorer and does it on great efficiency. Has the second longest streak of consecutive 20-plus point games. He's giving you good defense as a guard. He's giving you almost 5 rebounds per game, and he's getting a steal per game on what is the best defensive team in the league over the last 2 seasons. And it's like, even people want to say, well, he's not the best defender on OKC. That's cool and all. He don't got to be the best, but he's still giving them good defense. Nobody on that OKC team is taking plays off when it comes to defense. I find it hard to spot a bad defender on that OKC team. The worst defender, the only word you could use is probably average, and Shai is the worst defender on OKC. And Shai's giving them good defense. He's giving them elite scoring with good efficiency, and he's doing it all. And he's showing you that he can be a playoff riser, something he's shown over the past few seasons, even in his early days with the Clippers and that first year with OKC. And with that being said, and he's been a multiple-time All-NBA player, multiple-time All-Star, was just scoring champion, as I mentioned earlier. MVP, been in the MVP race multiple years in a row. And with that being said, I'm going to talk about this Warriors game since it was most recent, since it was played yesterday, and these stats were before that game, which they probably didn't change much since it was just one game because it's his career stats. But yesterday against the Golden State, they had 38 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, shot 13 of 21 from the field, shot 5 of 6 from the 3-point line, shot 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Getting to the free throw line, it's not something new. It's something that elite scorers do. It's something that Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Kevin Durant, etc. It's something that they've all done in the past, getting to the line 10 plus times. And OKC is currently 21-1 on the season. And this game was very competitive. Well, it was more competitive than it should have been against the Golden State team that didn't have Steph, and Jimmy only played 15 minutes. But Shai had a really good game. The free throws went 7 of 10. Obviously, one more would have been 7 of 10. They ended up winning the game by 12 points. So him missing 3 free throws didn't affect him. He shot 83% from 3. Only took 6 threes and made 5 of them. Was very efficient. 13 to 21 from the field goal. Very efficient, and he's giving you 30 plus points almost nightly. Had a few rebounds, had a few assists. Not one of his better playmaking nights, but that's fine. He had 4 assists. One of those assists came late down the stretch, and when they needed the bucket, he had 7 points in the fourth quarter. He had the second most points on OKC in the fourth quarter, as Chet had 9, and he didn't even get to the free throw line in that fourth quarter. And so he got those 10 free throws to the third quarter, and Shai has sat out in 10 of these fourth quarters of the 21 OKC games. Well, out of the 22 now. He sat out in 10 fourth quarters already, and it's just 22 seed. So you're telling me they go from 3 straight years of being the 1 seed, then you take Shai off in their 8 seed, and you think that's a positive? No, that means they're in the play-in now and risk missing the playoffs because they don't have their best player. And I don't want to hear the hypotheticals of, oh, well, if you swap Shai and Luka, well, what happened when they played each other? When they went head-to-head, didn't Luka win? He had a chance to win in the finals, and he wasn't able to get it done versus Celtics. As Shai, he got to the finals, he was able to get it done. People like, well, it took 7 games. So y'all can't give credit to the Pacers who ran through the East when nobody was expecting them to get to the finals? Why can't we give credit to the Pacers and trying to discredit OKC? Like, you think Luka or Jokic is the best player in the world? I have no problem with that argument. But I want to see an actual argument. I don't want to see a bunch of, well, hypothetically, you do this and that. Like, no, we living in real time. We can't say what else, because at the end of the day, you can't change what happened. And just because, and it's not a guarantee that things would be better if you swap Luka and SGA. They have 2 different play styles, and teams had to be built around them. The Mavericks were built around Luka. OKC is built around Shai. So it's like, if you swap them, maybe both teams get worse because they have completely different play styles, and it might not fit that team. We don't know. So if it can't be proven, don't mention it because it doesn't help your argument. It's just a hypothetical, and it's a fake scenario that can never actually be proven. It's not an argument. That's just bullshit to me. But with that being said, SGA is the best player in the world. He gives you a good defense on a nightly basis. He gives you some of the most consistent offense we've seen in NBA history. He's in the record books with Wilt Chamberlain. He's an MVP, multiple time All-Star, multiple time All-NBA player, and OKC is on a historic pace and had a chance to become the first seed in the West for the third straight year. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment who you think is the best player in the world.